got you into yo-yoing?
Well, when I was in third grade, there were a couple of kids on the playground who were playing with yo-yos, so I brought my yo-yo from home, and that's pretty much how I got started, in that corner of the playground where the yo-yos are.
What type of yo-yo style do you specialize in?
Well, I'd say for the most part, I mean, 1A or 2A, the two-handed style like I'm doing now, is a lot of fun. And I wouldn't say I'm really an expert, but I do practice 2A a lot.
Who first discovered the yo-yo?
Who first discovered the yo-yo? That's a great question. I don't think we know his name. The yo-yo is a very old toy. There is evidence of yo-yos in ancient Greece, ancient China, ancient Philippines. You know, I think it evolved out of similar toys like the spin top and also the Chinese diabolo. But the person who first discovered the yo-yo, I don't know. That's a really great question.
Who brought yo-yos to America?
The person in the United States who gets the most credit for popularizing the yo-yo is a guy by the name of Pedro Flores.
Donald Duncan, right?
Yeah, well, Donald Duncan, but also his business partner was a man named Pedro Flores. He was a Filipino immigrant, and he started a yo-yo company in the 1920s. And Donald Duncan encountered Mr. Flores on a business trip. And in 1928 or 1929, he decided to buy out the Flores Yo-Yo Company and turned it into Duncan Yo-Yos. So I would say Pedro Flores and Donald Duncan are the two people most responsible for bringing yo-yos to the public sphere in the United States.
What country or state are yo-yos made into?
There aren't really detailed records of the first yo-yo, but there are evidence of yo-yos in like artwork from medieval Europe, ancient Greece. Also, there's pottery and things from China depicting yo-yos in very, very, very long time ago. And it's pretty hard to say really what is the definitive origin.
Who held the first yo-yo contest?
The idea for the yo-yo contest was the creation of Mr. Pedro Flores and also Donald Duncan. Because when they started marketing yo-yos in the late 1920s and 1930s, they had a marketing deal with the paper boys, the delivery boys who delivered the newspaper. And they conceived of my understanding is they conceived of the idea of the yo-yo competition as a sort of, a contest for the paper boys. And it's the original yo-yo contest. If you look at what the rules were and the format of the contest, it really had two very basic ideas. The core goal in designing the event was they were trying to sell as many yo-yos as possible. But also, the design of the contest and the way that they would determine the champion, what they were really looking for was the best of the best yo-yoers. And the best yo-yo champions would then get hired to be a Duncan demonstrator in order to sell more yo-yos. So really, if you look at it historically, the concept of a yo-yo competition was very much designed with sales and marketing and promotion in mind.
So where did yo-yos first get manufactured?
Flores Yo-Yo Company that I was telling you about before, originally they had a factory in Los Angeles. And I know you can look up online the address of where that factory actually was is not a yo-yo factory anymore, but it is still an address in Los Angeles. But once the Duncan Yo-Yo Company bought out the Flores Yo-Yo Company, I believe they moved their manufacturing to a newly constructed facility in Luck, Wisconsin. And for a long time, through the 30s, 40s, and 50s, this factory in Luck, Wisconsin was a really big hub for, everyone in town had something to do with this yo-yo factory. And there were, hundreds of little old ladies cutting wooden yo-yos in the factory and stringing them up. And It's very cool. And there's actually 8mm home movies that were taken while they were building this factory building. And you can actually see old archival video from the 1940s and 50s of them like pouring the concrete foundation and building the building. And there's footage of when the building was finally built, all the workers came out and the Dunkin' demonstrators came to visit the building to see where the yo-yos were actually getting made. So, you know, things have certainly changed a lot since then. A lot of yo-yo manufacturing these days is overseas, mostly in China. But there are a couple of companies that still manufacture in the US.
What type of yo-yo style do you specialize in?
Well, I'd say for the most part, I mean, 1A or 2A, the two-handed style like I'm doing now, is a lot of fun. And I wouldn't say I'm really an expert, but I do practice 2A a lot.
How many different kinds of yo-yo styles are like out there?
Well, there are 5 major styles that they have at modern yo-yo contests. The 5 main styles are labeled 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, and 5A. 1A is like you're doing. It's just with one yo-yo, with one string tied to one hand. It's what a lot of the beginner tricks and also, you know, more advanced string tricks are in the 1A style. 2A is what I'm doing right here. It's two-handed yo-yoing where the yo-yos are doing what we call looping tricks. They don't sleep for nearly as long as those yo-yos, and they're not really designed to do tricks where the yo-yo lands on the string. So in 3A, you've got 2 yo-yos, but unlike 2A where the yo-yos are doing looping tricks, in 3A, both yo-yos are going to be landing on the string. So you're going to be doing string tricks with 2 yo-yos connected to each hand separately. And then in 4A is also known as off-string style, where the yo-yo is disconnected from the string. And you can see the yo-yo flies up in the air and you can do a whole different range of tricks that's not possible when the yo-yo is connected. The last major style is what's called 5A, also known as freehand or counterweight style. And in this style, instead of tying the string to your finger, it's actually attached to a counterweight. And what makes this interesting is that you can let go of the counterweight in the middle of the trick and be doing tricks on both ends of the string with the yo-yo and the counterweight interdependently, in sync or otherwise.
What do you think is your favorite style out of all 5 styles?
I think it depends on the day. It depends on how I'm feeling that day. But today it's 2A.
What makes playing with a yo-yo fun?
Yo-yos make the world go round. Not a lot of things that you can fit in your pocket that open up a limitless world of possibility, that can bring smiles to people's faces, that can open up different creative ideas. What's not to love?
You can create your own tricks, and you can carry it around like everywhere you go. And like super convenient. If you land a chart trick you've been trying to doing for a long time, it feels really good if you actually land it. You get really excited and happy. You landed the trick, and then yeah, it's really fun. And if you keep practicing, it gives you patience. So it takes time, but it takes time, but it's worth it. You have a cool talent that you can show your friends, and yeah, that's pretty much it.